Welcome to Whatever You Need, where we uncover the hidden stories behind the brightest faces on the screen. If you enjoy diving beneath the surface of celebrity headlines, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tap the join button to keep our community growing. Tonight, we trace the stormy path of Cenk Torun, Mahassine Merabet, and Cenk Torun, a trio whose names have lately become inseparable in the Turkish entertainment world. For more than a decade, Cenk Torun has stood as a familiar constant on Turkish television, polished, disciplined, and effortlessly charming. Audiences admired not only his work in primetime dramas, but also the harmony of his marriage to Cenk Torun, a partnership often held up as proof that true devotion could survive the turbulence of fame. But even the most flawless portraits can hide fine cracks. By late last year, muted whispers from production corridors hinted that the couple's bond had begun to strain. Nothing concrete surfaced, their public appearances remained serene, their smiles unchanged. Yet insiders knew that behind those red carpet photographs, something delicate was shifting. Into this calm entered a new name, Mahassine Merabet. Graceful, cosmopolitan, and fast-rising in Turkey's art and fashion circles, she met Cenk at an Istanbul charity gala months ago. Witnesses recall their interaction as effortless, two people conversing with a shared curiosity for art. A few photographs, just laughter, a brief glance, were enough to feed the imagination of the internet. Still, no one foresaw the chain reaction that would follow. Then came the post. On a quiet evening, Cenk uploaded an image of the Bosphorus burning orange beneath the sunset. The caption read, simply, "Mahassine Merabet, the only woman I would marry." 5 seconds of typing, one line of text, and an entire industry erupted. Within minutes, screenshots flashed across social media. Entertainment programs interrupted scheduled segments to analyze the meaning. Tabloids screamed, "Cenk Torun declares his love for Mahassine Merabet." Because officially, legally, and publicly, Cenk was still married to Cenk. Was this poetic exaggeration or public confession? Was he signaling an unannounced separation, or expressing admiration misunderstood by the world? Theories multiplied like wildfire. Some claimed that the marriage had quietly ended months earlier, others insisted that the actor had simply written a romantic metaphor, unaware of how explosive it would sound in the digital echo chamber. Comment threads became battlegrounds. Two hashtags trended side by side, #CenkandMahassine and #Respect for Cenk, a perfect reflection of the divided public heart. Days later, Mahassine finally addressed the story. Her message, published in a glossy magazine, was brief yet elegantly measured. "Cenk is a very special friend to me. It surprised me to see these feelings expressed publicly. For now, we are just close friends." Her calm tone cooled the fire but also deepened the mystery. Was this distance a shield against gossip, or a diplomatic pause before something more real? Each reader chose their own interpretation. On Whatever You Need, we invite you to share yours in the comments. Was it sincerity or strategy? Let us know what you think while you're here. Drop a like if you appreciate balanced storytelling instead of tabloid noise. Cenk's bold words polarized fans. Some praised his honesty, calling it a rare moment of raw emotion in a polished industry. Others condemned the statement as reckless toward Cenk, a woman long admired for her composure. The contrast between Cenk's impulsive caption and Cenk's silence became the heartbeat of the story. Behind closed doors, industry insiders offered cautious insights. One longtime colleague whispered, "Cenk doesn't act without meaning. If he wrote that, the feeling is genuine. But he never intends cruelty." Friends of Mahassine portrayed her as blindsided. She didn't chase this attention, it found her, said one. She respects Cenk deeply but protects her privacy above all. Amid all the speculation, Nurcais remained unmoved. No statement, no interview, no denial, only an unshakable quiet that many interpreted as quiet dignity. In a media landscape hungry for reaction, her stillness became its own kind of power. Commentators praised her restraint. She handled chaos by saying nothing, and somehow said everything. Yet that same silence left room for endless guessing. Was she waiting for clarity? Negotiating privately? Or simply refusing to fuel a spectacle? Television panels replayed the screenshot endlessly, analyzing every punctuation mark as though decoding sacred text. Columnists debated whether the incident signaled a generational shift in celebrity behavior, proof that stars can no longer separate private feeling from public persona. A single line online, they argued, now carries the weight of an entire press conference. As whatever you need, we remind you that behind those headlines are real people navigating emotions under a magnifying glass. So take a second to subscribe and help us keep telling these stories with empathy instead of exploitation. Just when the uproar began to fade, paparazzi lenses caught Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet leaving a private art exhibition in Istanbul. Both appeared composed, impeccably dressed, surrounded by mutual friends. No visible affection, yet the images reignited speculation overnight. Some outlets called it proof of a growing closeness. Others cautioned, two public figures attending a cultural event isn't a confession. But nuance rarely survives in the age of algorithms. The photographs alone were enough to keep the saga alive for another news cycle. Fans, now self-appointed investigators, dove into both celebrities' past posts, mapping likes, comments, and coinciding travel photos. Unverified charts appeared on Twitter, plotting every supposed encounter. The boundaries between fandom and forensic work blurred completely. Experts warned that digital speculation can distort truth, yet the excitement proved unstoppable. In this era, even silence becomes data. To date, no formal statement has clarified whether Cenk and Nurcais are separated or reconciling. Nor has anyone confirmed a romantic link between Cenk and Mahassine. For now, each moves independently, Cenk focusing on new acting projects, Mahassine returning to her creative ventures, and Nurcais continuing her life away from the spotlight. But insiders believe the story is far from over. Something will surface soon, one journalist predicted. You don't drop a line like that and disappear. What started as a poetic caption beneath a sunset has become a cultural reflection on love, transparency, and the double-edged power of social media. In an instant, admiration turned into controversy, affection into analysis. It is a reminder that fame magnifies the smallest human impulse, an emoji, a phrase, a photograph, until it becomes a public debate about loyalty, integrity, and the cost of honesty. At whatever you need, we believe every headline hides a heartbeat. Cenk's impulsive expression, Mahassine's graceful restraint, and Nurcais' proud silence together form a story more intricate than any script. Maybe it isn't about betrayal or confession at all, but about three people learning how truth sounds when spoken out loud. So what's your take? Was Cenk's sunset post an act of courage or a moment of recklessness? Did Mahassine handle the glare with wisdom? And what do you think Nurcais' silence truly means? Share your perspective in the comments, we read every one. If you enjoyed exploring this emotional maze with us, like the video, subscribe to whatever you need, and hit the join button to keep our stories shining bright. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, And remember, behind every headline, there's a heartbeat waiting to be understood.